Welcome to the first episode of Journey to Moksha. I'm your host, Mina Kanaman. And in this episode, I'll be sharing with you guys my breakup story. I've always thought the first episode of my podcast will be some glorious story about some big achievement that I've had, or maybe even the story of the birth of my child. But it looks like uh, I'm finally arriving at this place where I'm starting this podcast, and the first story, it's gonna be the breakup story. Thanks for tuning in. I'm excited to share this story with you. So, the Journey to Moksha podcast, it's all about different tools and different elements that we all need to grasp onto to be able to find liberation, to be able to tap into that state of nirvana, moksha. So, even a breakup is an opportunity for us to sit with the grief, to really reflect and see what is the teaching here? How is this experience creating liberation inside my body, inside my mind, inside my emotional state? So, in this episode, I'm going to share with you how, after giving myself some time to reflect on the breakup, how I have discovered that this journey is actually a blessing, how this journey is actually an opportunity for both of us to evolve and to become our most liberated selves. Even though it hurts, even though it hurts that we have to part ways, but because of the love I have for him and because of the love he has for me, we must let each other go. And I know you're probably thinking, how, Mina, how is this possible? If you love each other, why are you guys letting each other go? I know I have moments that I'm thinking about that too, but sometimes love is not enough. Sometimes people need to evolve on their own to be able to find their liberation. Sometimes, we have these soul contracts with people, and sometimes our soul contracts are over. And I feel like Masoud and I have reached a point of realization after 13 and a half years of epic life together. We have realized that we have hit a a brick wall in our journey together, that we're no longer evolving as individuals, because I'm worried about him, he's worried about me, therefore we are not in our own experience. So the thing I want you to really reflect here, in different areas of your own life, in different connections that you have created throughout your life, the thing I really want you to reflect as well with me is that, in what areas of your life, in what connections, in what friendships, relationships, do you feel like you have hit a wall where you're no longer helping each other's evolution? Either you're blocking their evolution or they're blocking your evolution. And maybe this friendship, maybe this relationship is it's like a 20-year-old friendship or relationship, or maybe this could be your brother, or this could be your mother, that you are just not seeing eye to eye. So think about that connection. I'm sure you have that one person in your own life that um, you just you're just hitting a wall with that person. And even though you really have so much love and compassion for this person, you're not able to see eye to eye. And what's happening is you're no longer seeing each other as two individual beings in their own experience. So I want to invite you to think about that connection. And now that you're thinking about that connection, think about how can you step back? How can you distance yourself from this connection so you can create an opening in this relationship, so that you can create a place of breathing in this connection, in this relationship, so that you can both go on your own journeys instead of being so entangled with each other. So this is exactly what's happening between me and Masoud. And this is what's causing this breakup, is because we are not able to be able to see eye to eye. And we are no longer helping each other's soul to evolve into our most liberated self. So therefore we have to let each other go. And I'm glad that our friendship is still there. I'm glad that the love we have for each other is still there. And I'm glad that we will always be there for each other as two human beings. But at this part of our journey, we need to part ways. If I want to evolve into my most liberated, most beautiful self, I need to do this on my own. And if he wants to evolve into his most liberated, optimal, most vibrant self, he's no longer able to do it with me. And trust me, my my earthly self, the one that's operating in the 3D dimension, um, my inner child, my ego, I have moments with that being that throws a tantrum or is upset that things played out the way they did. But from a higher perspective, when I look at this experience, we had to part ways. We had to say our goodbyes. We had to let each other go. And I'm actually super excited for both of us because we are finding our individuality again. It's interesting. I used to hear about these people that would do conscious uncoupling, meaning that they would part ways consciously without hate or getting into a big fight. And I was like, that's not possible. What are you talking about? Now that I'm experiencing it, it's a very interesting feeling to part ways in good terms with all the love and respect you used to have for each other and carry that forward as you part ways. So after leaving the relationship, at first, when we had the conversation to part ways, for a few days, I was hurt. I was shocked. I was devastated. And it just felt like a dream. And I would walk around the house super confused, as if like I'm losing my life, everything I've created over the past 13 years. And then on the third day, I went to coffee with a friend and I was reflecting with her what's happening. And as I was reflecting, I found so much clarity in regards to what's happening. And it's interesting, just a coffee conversation with somebody that, that knows you, that cares about you and cares about the other person creates an opening for you to really see this story from a bird's eye view. So if you are also entangled in a connection that's just not working, I want to invite you to zoom out, to look at your experience from a bird's eye view instead of being so deeply attached to your experience. So once I started to look at the breakup through a bird's eye view, everything shifted for me. I realized that we had to do this. We are suffocating each other. We are blocking each other from growing in our individuality. So, and now that it's been a few weeks, I can even see it much better. I can see what I was doing. I can see how much I was imposing my love to him, how much I was suffocating him, how much I wasn't allowing him to be in his own experience. I can see how needy I was becoming, and all the different things that was happening in our dynamic. But it's interesting, once you remove yourself from a situation and you reflect on it from the outside, everything shifts. So if you are experiencing something similar with somebody you love, I want to invite you to take a breather, zoom out, move away, take a few steps back, because that gives you an opportunity to see the bigger picture of what's happening. And I also want to invite you to recognize that, from my own journey, I realized that I cannot change anybody. I cannot impose my love on anybody. And everyone will arrive in their point of awakening on their own. It doesn't matter how much you love them. It doesn't matter how much you care about the people you love around you. You have to allow people be in their own experience. And it took me this breakup to be able to recognize that. And I want you to see how a breakup could be a blessing. A breakup could be an opportunity for you to meet yourself deeper on a spiritual level. And I'm recognizing all the missteps that I made without judgment. I'm not judging myself in the process, because at that time, what I did was the best I knew. So now that I've moved away from it and I'm reflecting in my alone time, in this space of nothingness, in this void space, instead of being so entangled in the experience, I'm recognizing my own shortcomings. And it's a beautiful place to be, because it's helping my soul's evolution. And it's getting me closer to my liberation ultimately, right? Because this podcast is all about providing you with tools to help you journey into moksha, which is a state of liberation, which is the end goal of this human experience. So, with that being said, I want you to know that I'm doing good. I'm excited for the future. And this breakup is just a stepping stone in my journey of becoming the most liberated person I can be. This human experience is just like a playground for all of us to find liberation. And the people that come into our lives, they're part of our soul's contract. We are meant to co-create with them so that we can meet our shadows and we can meet our light, and we can grow and we can evolve and we can become this being of nothingness. The end goal is to reach a point where you and I are nobodies. and we can just be the most liberated, most free version of ourselves without any attachments. So, as we are both stepping into this new versions of ourselves, we are giving our house back. We are decluttering the space, letting go of everything, letting go of all of our memories we have collected over the past 13 years, and kind of becoming naked and just jumping into the unknown of the new versions of ourselves that we're becoming. And the only thing that we can really do is just trust and stay in trust, that the unfolding of what's ahead for both of us individually is for our highest good, is for our soul's evolution. And if I want to sit here and throw a tantrum and be upset and be mad, that really doesn't do anything for my soul's evolution other than depleting my soul, other than bringing low vibration in my field. So I am processing my feelings. I am acknowledging the unfolding of this story, but I'm also honoring where we are. I cannot deny the fact that at this part of our journey, we are no longer helping each other evolve. So I am surrendering into this new experience that we're going into, even though it feels like I'm losing my best friend, even though it feels like I'm losing my person, I am allowing it. Because in order for me to reach the ultimate state of liberation, moksha, nirvana, I have to let go of all my attachments. Because ultimately, nothing belongs to me. Everyone and every experience and everything that we own in this life are just fleeting moments, fleeting experiences. And if I want to grip too tight, if I want to hold on and say, no, this is mine, why are you taking it away from me? It's not going to work. Can you see how that's not going to work? And the practice of love is to love and let go. So, in order for me to love him and in order for him to love me, we must let each other go at this stage of our lives so that we can evolve, so that we can grow, so that we can become who we're meant to become. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope this first episode of Journey to Moksha triggered something inside you to reflect on your own relationships, to reflect on your own connections, to reflect and see, where are you gripping too tight? Where are you holding on too tight? Can you let go? Can you let go of that grip, even though it's so hard? Even though that little kid inside you is throwing a tantrum, can you let it go? Because by letting go, you create an opening, you create an opportunity for you to breathe again, for you to remember that we cannot force things into manifestation. We must surrender and trust the unfolding of the process. Thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you later. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. And also, if you can write me a review, I would be super grateful. Together, we're going to pave our road through the journey to moksha. Thanks for tuning in.